Obviously, last Wednesday was 420. Um, Depending on when this uploads, I don't know. But last Wednesday was 420 for us. Um, and yeah, the story came out. I think it was in Missouri. 500 pounds of weed spilled out onto the highway from a truck that got into an accident. Um, what are the odds, right? What are the odds that 500 pounds of weed spill out onto the highway on what's essentially National Weed Day?
First off, I have to say this is probably there's two things, and this is one that like when you're in traffic in a highway, and you're just trying to figure out like what the hell's going on, and you're pissed off. This is like one of the only two different things that I could see that would actually make me happy. If you just came across all this fucking weed and all these people driving around it.
Like, dude, what? There is no reason for me to be stopped here for 10.
Yeah.
Oh,
And if you just see
is
people
that?
like grabbing it and stuff.
Yeah, is that weed?
Yeah.
So, are the cops looking?
Yeah.
So weed? The same. Looks like weed. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know,
dude.
honey. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we should pull over. There's weed in
Man,
the
look at
road.
this.
That's ridiculous. You know, at first when I read this story, I was like, oh, 500 pounds of weed. Was it in like a semi truck or something? And I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
it's fucking 500 pounds. Like that 500 pounds isn't that crazy. And I looked at this and I'm like, that's a ridiculous, like that's a ridiculous amount of weed. Like, so this happened in Missouri, right?
Yep.
Weed is medically legal in Missouri.
It's
So I'm just
medically,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I'm
This
just like, man, that either they were driving through, which I guess that's possible, of course.
Yeah, yeah, it was a
What a
it was a drug
freaking
ring. It was a drug ring where
yeah.
yeah.
Well, they could have that Missouri could have been their stop. I don't know. I'm like, dude, do they like, man, just go to the store, man.
Well,
Just go like
what else are you gonna do in Missouri, though?
I don't know. Isn't Missouri like supposed to be beautiful?
Sure,
Am I
but like from an activity standpoint,
get high and
probably
look at
gonna
the
be
view?
bored. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Yeah,
I don't
I've
know.
never been to Missouri, so I don't know what.
Yeah, Missouri is not a state that I am well versed in. What are some of the views in
Oh,
Missouri?
they have
What
the
do they look
arch.
like?
They have the arch in St. Louis.
The Arch? Oh, I mean,
That's it.
is
It
that something to do, or
Well,
is it
no,
just like,
it's a
oh, there's an
national
arch?
symbol for like it represents you entering the Western
No, no, no,
U.S. or
I
something.
know. But I'm saying, like, is that it's not really an activity,
I don't know
right? You just kind of
if
see it.
yeah,
So
if
they
I
got
died and
views.
never saw it, I wouldn't be mad. So
Well, sure. I mean, McDonald's has two. You know what I mean?
that's true. And there's one like 5 minutes away.
Yeah, man. And I am kind of hungry after seeing all of this weed.
Yeah, but yeah,
Jesus.
it's crazy that these.
It,
I watched a documentary on. I think it was a Vice doc because that's usually are the type of docs I watch. But it's about how in these states, for instance, like California, where weed is completely legal, it's almost some are actually making profit, but most weed companies can't make a profit because it's taxed so heavily that they can't charge enough to make money. So they're actually still selling. The ones that actually make a lot of money are the ones that are still selling illegal weed, and this
so do
is why
they?
it's still like happening like this. You know what I mean? Even though we keep thinking, oh,
Yeah,
there's like 20. I think there's like 25 states now that are medically legal, and it's just only going to keep going up and up, and then fully legalized is going
you,
to happen. But
yeah,
because it's being taxed so much to avoid now they're still doing illegal weed, getting illegal weed to avoid the taxes.
yeah, yeah. I mean that makes sense. So, are you saying the dispensaries are actually getting weed from illegal sources, or
No,
just people in general are still buying on the black market because they don't want to deal with the prices of the dispensary because they're so high?
the dispensaries are selling. This isn't all dispensaries, obviously, but a lot of the dispensaries that are making the most, are making a lot of money, are on the front end. A regular weed store, everything has to be legal there because they get checked however many times a month or a year, whatever. But
yeah,
they have like an underground, not physical back room, but you know what I mean, like a back room business that
yeah, where they're actually just moving it to like extra product or whatever.
and and their clientele go to them to the back door kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, but it's because it's because of taxes though.
Yeah, I knew the like that black market stuff was still common in medically legal states. I don't know if it's the same or what you know about like in the recreational states, but I knew it was still common in the medical states. I just didn't realize it was the like that a lot of the dispensaries themselves were doing it, because that seems like you're already on such rocky ground, right? You're on this ground where like, you know, if federally, if they decide to do something about it, they can still come after you, right? Because we've seen like precedents for that before. But so you would think that you would try to be as squeaky clean as possible, or maybe the idea is that it doesn't matter either way. Either I'm getting busted, or yeah, I don't know. That's just that would be some rocky ground to walk. I wouldn't want to do that. Own a legit business and be like, yeah, but in the back.
Yeah, but the amount of money these people are making, it will kind of change your idea. And also, they're literally running a business that it's all pretty much impossible to make any money because of the taxation on it. You know.
Mm-hmm. According to the article in 2020, they brought in $30 million in state taxes for Missouri.
And that's just for medically too. That's not. I mean, recreational. It's got it. You should look at Colorado, how much they make.
In 2021, Colorado collected over $423 million in revenue for marijuana sales.
Damn.
Yeah.
And that's a difference between two states that have a very similar population as well. That's nuts, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a huge difference between the the recreational and the medical. I don't know, man. Look, I feel like maybe there were some drivers on this road that ended up having a really good 420 because because of this mistake. Like I can't, you know, it takes a minute for cops to get on the scene, you know, and like in those couple minutes, is there anybody who's just like, well, these guys can't stop me, like like they're fucked. So.
I just want to know like what the truck was like, because it's the picture.
Doesn't show. Well, yeah, of course.
Show. But
it probably depends on the guys driving the truck too, right? If they jump out and they look like some gangbangers, you're not touching that weed. You're just gonna keep driving.
No, they were pretty. I mean, they said Mexican, and I'm assuming they were illegals, but I don't know. So they weren't.
Do we have a mugshot?
Not.
No, there's nothing in this article. No, I'd be really curious.
Oh no, they are. Yeah, they are from Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so. Even though they're facing 10 to 30 years, they're just going to get deported. And, you know.
It's the two guys from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
So you're not touching that weed. You're going to keep going.
Yeah, I guess that's a pretty good point. But what are they going to do? What are they gonna? They're about to get fucking arrested the moment the cops show. Like if they didn't run right away, who's not running from that scene when you've got 500 pounds of marijuana? Yeah. Why are you like, you know what? I should wait for the cops.
I can get a lawyer to get me out of this.
You need to go.
They're calling Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
They're just really hoping you can clean it up before the cops get there.
Yeah.
I wonder what that looks like for them in that moment where they're like, oh my God, all of the weed it's all over that. People are gonna know, like what do they do at that point? what is the 10 minutes between the crash and when the cops get on the scene look like? Like are they just frantically trying to get it all back in the truck and being like, no, just I'll give you my insurance, like.
They probably did try to start. I mean, depending on what the if the car could even drive again, you know. But
yeah, I guess that's true.
If it couldn't, I would just run. Yeah.
You're probably contemplating: do I go to prison or do I go back to my boss and say, "Hey, I just lost this whole load"?
at that point, if you, so you're either going to prison or you're running away, going back to your boss and telling them, "Hey, I just lost 500 pounds of marijuana, and also I'm a wanted fugitive."
Yeah.
So what? So, I think that might be a pretty easy option of just going to prison. It's life or death.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to prison
Yeah.
or to prison.
Yeah, like that. Like, even if you go back to your boss, he's probably going to be like, well, we're going to just turn you in anyway and somehow
Yeah.
have no connection to it because we don't want to deal with you. Don't bring that heat in here. Not putting you in another car to go and wreck it again or go to prison for being a fugitive.
No, they're killing
So,
you because
yeah.
look at it this way. They say me and you, we did this, whatever. We run, we get away, we go to the boss, whatever. And if he has to think if he puts us in, like turns us in, we're just gonna roll. And right now they're
Yeah.
trying to figure out. They don't obviously they care about these two guys, but they care about the whole organization, or where it's headed, who's doing what. Like
Yeah.
they want names, all that stuff. And what would keep them from right now, if they just right now the position they're in, they just got caught randomly, because of their stupidity. They're not thinking I need to get revenge and roll on people. They're thinking I need, if I roll,
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
get murdered or something. But if
Yeah, I think no matter what, these guys are
no, they're done. Yeah,
pretty fucked.
there's no, yeah.
But like, regardless, they had no good action to take. I mean, that's what you is it on that Vice documentary, wasn't it like I don't know if it's the same Vice documentary you were talking about before, but there was one specifically on drug trafficking, and it talked about how much money they made for the runs, but I think the runners make a lot of money because the risk is fucking insane. I mean,
Well, it's
like the
all on
moment
them, yeah.
you get caught, you're in this situation that we're just talking about, right? Where you're either dying or going to prison. Like those are the only two options. So
Yeah. Or then just dying in prison too. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you like you're basically saying for 6 hours or 12 hours or 24 hours or however long it is, I'm going to take the risk that my life could be over before this drive even ends.
Okay.
Fucking insane.
All right. How much? How much to do that? Think about it. Okay, let's paint a scenario.
Oh shit.
This
Okay.
is pretty much
Oh,
the scenario.
hold on. Okay, go ahead.
We didn't hear it, but
Eric, can I put that down as well?
editor Eric, can you insert a psst sound? Thank you. Okay, gotcha.
Sure.
All right. So this is pretty much what's happening is obviously the legal states, they're growing it, and then the illegal ones that are growing it are shipping it across country. So let's paint this scenario. I want to know how much to drive from Northern California. I forget what there's 3 counties. It's called like the something triangle or some shit where all the weed basically is grown in California.
The weed triangle.
Yeah, it's something like that, but I think it's actually called the Golden Triangle right now or something. I forget. But drive from there to, let's go Virginia. It's kind of a straight.
Okay.
How much money? Just one trip from California to Virginia. You need to do it in 2 days. You need to be there in 40. So I don't want to hear
a 40-hour drive. So I'm
really?
sleeping.
I don't know.
So I'm driving 20 hours and then I'm sleeping.
All right, you have 3 days. You have 3 days.
Okay, hey, I really appreciate that.
I didn't know. I'm just
Hey, yeah,
making
look,
this shit.
even truckers have timers where they can't drive longer than that amount of time because they're liable to go to sleep nowadays. So
Yeah.
this would just be unreasonable. And if there's anything I know about the drug business, it's that it's very reasonable.
Let's say 3 days.
Okay, so I'm literally, I literally pulled up the drive. Okay, so I'm driving through Nevada, Utah, Wyoming.
Yeah, you're federally fucked if you get pulled over because you're crossing state lines.
Oh, Nebraska, Missouri. Yeah, I'm I'm driving through some bad states too, like not bad states, but
What?
like for weed bad states. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
really strict states.
yeah.
I mean, I'm fucked federally anyway,
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, the
but
feds
I'm
are coming
driving
after
through
you at the border.
some rough spots. Like some of them are obviously fine. Okay, how much? Um, fuck, see, here's the problem. My price isn't going to be reasonable because like I need it to basically be 40 hours of a drive where either if I complete it, my life is set, or if I don't complete it, my life is over. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so my price is at least seven figures. I have to be getting paid
So you're
a
saying
million or
it's
more.
your price is going to be worth. It's going to cost them more money to pay you to drive it
Yeah.
than what they'll make on the product.
Yeah, because dude, I'm
Yeah.
not.
No, no, you're not desperate.
To
That's why
make
I
that
know.
drive, well, yeah, but to make that drive, it needs to change my life one way or another. Ideally, good, but like that. So my price is super high, and then they wouldn't make any profit. And that's just bad for the drug business, which, like I said, is very reasonable. So I don't know, man. That my price is probably too high, but I gotta say it's at least $1 million or more. What about you? What's your price?
Yeah, same, same. It's just our
Yeah,
mentality.
man.
Our lifestyle is we're not desperate for money. Yeah, we all would love way more money, but
Yeah.
but yeah, it would be too
Yeah.
high that it like unless obviously the higher it goes, the
What?
more they're gonna want you to ship. So,
Well, yeah, that's true. All
and
right,
we
all
can
right.
only drive
I'm
such a
driving.
big.
I'm getting my CDL, and I'm
Yeah.
driving a semi. No, because you would get. Don't they like check your shit at way stations and stuff?
Yeah, yeah, you can't drive a
Right.
semi on the highway. You'd have to take back roads, but you can't drive a semi on every road. Yeah, it would be impossible to get across the
Sucks.
country.
That's a bummer, man. It's a bummer that I can't traffic enough weed to be worth the price to set me for life. What a bummer. Yeah, yeah. I don't think that's anything I'm getting into in the near future.
That's good. Thanks everyone for watching Pelican and the Bear. Remember to like and subscribe.
Or dislike and don't subscribe. Whatever you do, be sure to leave a comment. Nobody's going to read it anyway.